Hello viewers, you're welcome to my channel. Now in this video we want to look at this problem on the board. We have an open box containing 75 cm cube. Alright, so the volume of the box is actually 75 cm cube. Now this box is made from a square piece of tin. Alright, so let's talk about the piece of tin. We have it to be a square, that means the length and the breadth are the same, so the four sides are equal. Let's say that is the piece of tin. Okay, so this piece of tin, we make a box from it, and the box has a volume of 75 centimeters cube. Okay, but this piece of tin, the box is made from the piece of tin by cutting 3 centimeters square from each side, or from each corner, and turning them up. So this is what I mean. When we have the piece of tin, you cut off 3 cm square from the corner. That is, you come to this corner, you measure from here to here 3 cm, you cut it off. You measure from here to here 3 cm, you also cut it off. Right? So this is 3 and this is 3. So you cut off this part. You do the same thing to each of the corners, cutting off this and cutting off that. So at the end, you are now left with something like this, where the corners are being cut off. So if you clean this off, you've reduced this by 3, reduced this by 3, and so on over here as well. Alright? So we are having something like this, where 3 centimeters has been cut off here, and 3 centimeters also has been cut off over here. That forms a 3 centimeter square. Okay. That happens to the four corners, right? And after cutting them off, we turn up the sides. So you turn this up, this will form this other part of the box. When you turn this side up, you turn this one, this forms this side. You turn up this one, this forms this side. You're just standing and it's just a box. So you turn up this side. Now, so it's from there that we get the whole board, the whole box itself, after turning up the sides. Now, the question here is to find the dimensions of the piece of tin required. Great. Originally, we had a very nice piece of tin. Let me put it down again, which is just a square. Alright? Okay. So what we do here is that we have taken off 3 centimeters from this, and we have also taken off 3 centimeters. The same thing happens to the four sides. Alright? Now you notice that this is the actual length. Okay, this is a square, the length and the breadth are the same. So this is the actual length of the square, the piece of tin, and we've taken 3 centimeters from here, and we've also taken 3 centimeters from here. So let's say that the capital L is the length of the actual piece of tin. Alright? Now, when you take away 3 centimeters from here and 3 centimeters from here, the length of this, okay, let's talk about the breadth. Let's use it as the breadth. The breadth of this volume will now be B, okay? Let's call it B. B is gotten from the breadth of this minus 3 here and 3 here. That is minus 3 minus 3. So what we've got there? We've talked about this capital B and capital L are the length and breadth of the piece of tin, the square piece of tin, right? Where the length and the breadth are the same. Now this is the volume formula of finding the volume: length times breadth times height. But I'm using small letters for each of them. So what we do here is that we say that this breadth of this box over here is gotten from when you cut this part 3 centimeters, cut 3 centimeters, and you fold the remaining up, okay, from the piece of tin. So the square piece of tin, which has its normal breadth to be capital B, then to get the breadth of this box, we take out 3 centimeters from here and 3 centimeters from here. You notice that when we turn this up, we are going to get this side. So that is the little b for the breadth of the box. And also we are going to also use the same thing for the little l. Now this length here, right? This length here, from here to here, is gotten from this other side by cutting off this one and cutting off this one and turning it up. So it has been reduced by 3 and it has been reduced by 3. So it is actually going to be the normal length of the box minus 3 minus 3. So you see that you've taken 6 centimeters away from this, and you have also taken 6 centimeters away from this. Okay, so that gives you the little L and the little b. Now, and the little b, yeah. So how about the height of this volume? You know that when you turn this thing up, okay, it is this part that you turned up that is going to become the height. So the height is actually the 3 centimeters that was measured before turning it up. So the height over here is going to be 3. So the little h is 3 centimeters. So all in all, we see that the length times breadth times height has been gotten in terms of this one. But the main question here is to find the dimensions of the piece of tin required. That is to say, if you want to find the area of that, so you talk about the length and the breadth of it. So those are the dimensions of it. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is to, since we are given the volume of this box, is to use these parameters, okay, and then use them to get the volume of the box in this manner. We know that the volume of the box is length times breadth times height. We've gotten the length, the breadth, and the height. So we are just going to multiply them together, and we equate it to 75 centimeter cubed, because since that is just the volume. So by doing that, let's put this down here. Okay. So the volume, which is given as 75 centimeters cubed, 75 is length times breadth times height. So the length in this case is L minus 6. The breadth in this case is B minus 6, right? And then the height here is actually 3 times 3. So if we want to simplify this, okay, so this 75, we multiply everything on the right hand side, we're going to have that 75 is equal to L times B, then this is negative 6L, negative 6B, then times 3, all right, on this other hand. Anyway, without multiplying these 3 inside, let's divide both sides by 3. So we are going to have, the 3 will be gone over here, and here we'll be having 25, because 75 divided by 3 is just 25. Great. Now, you notice that this capital L and capital B are the length and the breadth of the piece of tin, right? Since it's just a square, they are the same, since it's just a square. So since L and B are the same, I can rewrite this as B times B, which is just B squared. This is negative 6B, alright? So in place of L, I choose to put B, or in place of B, I choose to put L, any one, but I'm using B here. Okay, great. So since 25 is equal to this quadratic in terms of B, we have to solve this, alright? But look at this. This is B squared minus 6B minus 6B, that is negative 12B. So maybe we just make that observation and clean things up a little bit. So we're going to have a negative 12B. Great. And also, negative 6 times negative 6 is going to give us positive 36. Okay. All right. Then the next thing we do is to go ahead and solve this quadratic equation. We have that B squared minus 12B. Then if you subtract 25 from 36, we're going to have plus 11. This is equal to 0. So we seek two factors whose product will give us the product of 1 and 11, and whose sum will give us negative 12. In fact, the two factors are, whose product will give us, okay, negative 11 and negative 1. So we have B minus 1, and then B minus 11. We equate that to 0. So we can see here that B can either be 1 or B can either be 11. So with these two values of B, we automatically know the values of L, because we say that B and L are the same on this other hand. Okay, great. But notice that this B is actually the breadth of the main piece of tin, and okay, it's actually the breadth of the main piece of tin. So if it is 1 centimeters, and you cut off 3 centimeters, that is not possible. So in that case, b equals to 1 is not taken. The only thing that we have left is b equals to 11. So all in all, we can now conclude that the dimensions of the piece of thin required are going to be, let's just put it down as length and breadth. Okay. So the length over here, or should I put it down as breadth? Anyway, the length over here is the same thing as the breadth. So if the breadth is 11, then the length is also 11. So these are the dimensions of the piece of thin. Remember to put centimeters, give centimeters for each of them. Okay, great. So that is a nice questions, right? All right, thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel.